This has been a wonderful year for me, and this has also been one of the toughest years of my life. I've told you all before, my father passed away about a year and a half ago, so I, had the highest level of reverence and respect for him. I was very close to him. To be completely candid, he was really like my only true confidant, and one of the only people on this planet that I trusted entirely. And so, his loss was a huge loss to me. Really broke my heart. And, I've been talking about him a lot. And it helps me kind of in my healing process. And, it helps me to remember him and all the things that he taught me, really. Because when we think about life, we think about it's not just our time here. We all have an expiration date on this planet, right? And so as parents and as people who are hoping to, help contribute to the best humanity possible, we want people to remember the things that we say. We want people to remember the things that were meaningful to us. And my father was a helper. He was of service to mankind and in the most utmost way. And one of his mantras for me was face your fears. Face your fears, face your fears, face your fears. As a little girl, face your fears, face your fears. I was scared of the carousel. I had a fear of horses. Horses to me are the most beautiful animals. They're just gorgeous physically, but they have these very deep eyes, these very intense deep eyes. And I picked up on that as a little girl. And so I would be scared of the carousel, and he would be like, face your fears. And I was speaking to my aunt, we've talked a lot throughout this past year because we've both been mourning my father. And I remember her telling me this story about when she was probably in her late teens. This happened in Jamaica, Queens, New York, where my father's side is from. She, had attracted a no good guy, and he had put his hands on her. And my father didn't play. When he got wind of it, he called his friend. Now, my father was tight with Muhammad Ali back in the day, and it was dead winter from what I understand. And they dragged the guy out of his house, and they beat the living crap out of him and made sure that all the neighbors and everybody was watching to make an example out of the guy, right? You put your hands on my sister, it's a wrap for you. And so my dad was obviously my hero. My dad was a hero to me. My dad was a hero to a lot of people. And I remember her talking about Muhammad Ali and how much of a jokester he was, how much of a clown he was. And one of my favorite things to do, one of my favorite things in the world to do was to make my dad laugh. I would do anything to make him laugh. I would dance. He'd call me into the living room, do your James Brown impression. I would do my James Brown impression just to make him laugh because he laughed so easily. He laughed so much. And when my aunt was describing Muhammad Ali, she was like, they used to laugh all the time. Just laugh. Muhammad Ali was a clown from what I understand. I never had a chance to meet him. But in the ring, this man was not a clown. He was talking all the trash in the world. I'm too pretty for you. I'm too pretty for you. Talking it up, right? Getting in the mind of his opponent. You would have never known that side of him. You would have never known that Muhammad Ali was a jokester, was a prankster, when you saw him as a competitor. And so this conversation is about confidence versus arrogance. A lot of times people misconstrue, people will mix up the two. What is confidence? What is arrogance? To know you're great and say, I don't have time to manifest anything but my greatness, that's not arrogance. That's confidence. When Muhammad Ali was training, when these boxers are training, they don't even make love to their partners. That's how committed they are to their greatness. If you would see Muhammad Ali in the ring and all the trash that he was talking, you would think that this guy is extraordinarily arrogant, but he was not. He was actually a kind and humble person. He fought for people. He bullied the bullies. When we talk about ego, I have to use myself as an example. You know, I did not have the confidence that I needed to be able to manifest my dreams formerly. Why? I was afraid of other people, what other people might think. But really, when I talk about fears, my biggest fear was to shine. And I keep hearing my father's voice, face your fear, face your fear, face your fear. My greatest fear, one of my greatest fears was to shine, was to radiate, was to glow, was to stand out, was to be excellent. Because the world had imposed so many things on me to say, no, play it small. You're not important. You don't have anything valuable to say. You're not special. You're not these things. Just being in the skin that I'm in. And so I was conditioned to play it small. My greatest fear was to not shine. And I had to face my fear and say, you know what? I'm here for a purpose. I'm here for a reason. I'm here to shine. And when you really think about these things, you know, I'm alerted to the music. Like I say, like I'm not new to this music thing. I'm really true to this. I heard one of the biggest stars say that when she was training or when she was preparing for a concert or a video or something like that, this woman was running 6 miles every single day while singing on the treadmill in heels just to be the greatest. Like that's a certain level of commitment. You think that you're putting in all that time, you're putting in all that work, and you're not gonna feel like, you know what I'm saying? So it's not a matter of arrogance as far as feeling better than people, but do you have better tendencies? Do you have better habits? Are you more committed to your dreams than other people? Possibly. And are you responsible for the way they feel about that? You're not. You're not responsible. If you are manifesting your dreams, and if you are disciplining yourself, where you say, you know what, as much as I love to party and as much as I love friends, it's not friends time, it's manifest time. It's hard work time, it's on my grind time. It's practicing my craft time. It's physical fitness time. If you're willing to do things that other people aren't, are you responsible for the way that they feel as a result of that? I'm not on the phone like that. Like, it's hard to get me on the phone. I'm not a big talker. I don't like one of my best friends, Eskimo. We can talk for 5 hours and I literally have to be like, Eskimo, I could talk to you all night because he's so mentally stimulating. We have so many ideas. We bounce off one another. We're talking about ideas. We're talking about philosophies. We're talking about the world. We're talking about social issues. We're talking about everything under the sun, and we're just bouncing off one another. I can talk to that man all day, but I can't afford to. I can't afford to really designate my time thinking about other people right now. I have a child on this earth that I have to provide for, that's going to be in college in a few years. I got to figure things out. I don't have the time to be on the phone talking about other people. I have to pour that energy into myself. I have to pour that energy into the things that are going to make me great. Does that make me arrogant? To say, I'm not using my words to gossip about another person. I'm not using my time and my energy to be on the phone talking about somebody else. Is that arrogance? I'm really learning to this music thing. You know, I'm true to this music thing. I love all genres of music, including pop. So I grew up on Madonna. Like, I know, you know, all the Madonna songs. Like everybody in America, Madonna's as American as America, right? We all know Madonna. So I remember kind of first getting exposed to like the idea of sexual freedom through Janet Jackson and through Madonna, through these pop stars who would show it. You know what I'm saying? They exuded this sexual energy. They radiated this sexual energy. And as a little girl, I'm like thinking like, damn, these women look good, you know, like they got it going on. And I never once, I look at Shakira, I look at Madonna, I look at Janet, I look at these women as like role models, you know what I'm saying, as far as musicians who really took it to the next level, who really manifested their greatness. And I got nothing but love for the fact that all they did was gave me a blueprint, you know what I'm saying? And the fact that you see it in the world is the fact that it exists. And so when I hear certain things about ego and all of these things and arrogance, I say, you know what? It's interesting because the way that I dissect it is that there are certain people that they really don't want to feel confident, that they really want to lower their self-esteem. And I think that that's what arrogance is. You not wanting to see somebody be a sex symbol or a top model or a pop star or have a certain level of popularity because you don't see yourself in that person. So if that person doesn't look like you, doesn't have the same complexion as you, you can't even humble yourself to recognize their greatness. To me, that's arrogance. To me, that's cockiness. To me, that's really, and so when we talk about arrogance versus confidence and we talk about ego, I'm going to make this last point, that this is the embodiment of the shaitan. This is the embodiment of, I guess you could say, your lower nature, because whether you believe in the Bible as allegorical or theoretical, when they say that the fallen angel Lucifer, who was God's right-hand man, right? This is what they say in the book. God's right-hand man refused to bow to man. Well, I'm made of fire. I'm made of a superior material. That was the first racist. And then when we talk about haters, that is what a hater does. That's what a hater is. Hate is just jealousy. Hate is because I don't see myself in this individual, I don't want them to shine. I don't want them to fly. I want to hold them down. That's what hate is. That's what jealousy is. That's what arrogance is. Not somebody who says, yes, I want to shine, and guess what? I'm not dimming my shine, and guess what? I want people, not just people that look like me, everybody, to see that. To see, oh, this person shines. This person believes in themselves. I can believe in myself too. Anyways, until next time, y'all. Peace.